The upscale neighborhood of Markham, Ontario, typically hummed with quiet affluence. But on a cold November night, that serenity was shattered by a real-life horror story unfolding within the Pan family home. A tale of immigrant success, shattered dreams, and a web of deceit so intricate, it would challenge the very notion of truth. The Pan family embodied the classic immigrant dream. Han Pan and his wife, Bich Ha Pan, had escaped Vietnam as boat people, arriving in Canada with nothing but hope. Through sheer determination, Han became a tool and die maker, while Bitcha worked alongside him in an auto parts factory. Their lives were disciplined, frugal, yet they resided in a beautiful home and drove luxury cars, symbols of their hard-won prosperity. But their greatest investments, they believed, were their children. Their son, Felix, was away studying mechanical engineering at a prestigious university, destined to design cars, not merely assemble them. Their daughter, Jennifer, seemed the embodiment of perfection, an Olympic-caliber figure skater, an award-winning pianist, and a straight-A student. Han had initially envisioned her as a doctor, later revising it to a pharmacist, claiming she lacked the stomach for medicine. The Pan children, by all accounts, were nearly perfect. Then came that terrifying night. Just after 10 p.m., 3 shadowy figures appeared on a neighbor's security camera, approaching the Pan residence. They forced their way inside, transforming a peaceful home into a scene of unspeakable terror. Detective Bill Curtis would later describe the next 18 minutes as sheer terror. The assailants immediately confronted Bitch Ha in the living room. Upstairs, Han was awakened by the cold steel of a muzzle pressed against his forehead. He was dragged downstairs, joining his wife. Jennifer, meanwhile, was in her upstairs bedroom, on the phone. She heard footsteps outside her door, not her parents'. She instinctively knew. Peeking out, she found herself staring down the barrel of a pistol. "Where is the money?" the gunmen screamed, their voices echoing through the house. Jennifer later recounted how a gunman tied her hands behind her back with a shoelace and dragged her through the house as they ransacked rooms. She handed over $2,500 she'd saved from teaching piano, along with another $1,300 her mother had hidden. But it wasn't enough. Han insisted he had no more money, infuriating the intruders. One assailant whipped Han across the back of his head. Jennifer was then taken back upstairs and bound to the banister, her hands tied behind her back, secured to the railing itself. Downstairs, the gunmen shoved Bitch Ha and Han into the basement. They were ordered to turn around, and a blanket was thrown over their heads. Bitch Ha's final words were a desperate plea for her daughter's life. Then, 5 gunshots pierced the night. Moments later, the grainy security footage showed the killers fleeing. Inexplicably, Jennifer's life had been spared. From her precarious position, she managed to dial 911. Her voice, choked with fear, conveyed a desperate plea. "I'm tied upstairs. My dad just went outside screaming. I don't know what's happening." 34 seconds into the call, an unexpected sound erupted, a man's scream. It was Han Pan. Miraculously, he had survived what was meant to be his execution. Tragically, he found his beloved wife, Bitch Ha, dead at his feet, shot multiple times, the fatal wound to the back of her head. When police arrived, they found Jennifer precisely as she described it, tied to the banister. But even as the story of a grieving daughter and a horrific home invasion unfolded, something felt off. She was tied to a banister, yet making a 911 call on a flip phone. To the world, Jennifer Pan was a survivor, her mother murdered, her father fighting for his life. But detectives began to wonder if the young woman with the angelic voice was, in fact, a devil in disguise. Crime reporter Jeremy Grimaldi, who covered the case for the local paper, immediately sensed something amiss. How is it that they left someone unharmed to be a witness? He pondered. The criminals who did this would have to be pretty bumbling to shoot 2 people in the head and then leave one witness surviving tied up upstairs. Grimaldi's reporter instincts told him this was more than a home invasion. Nothing of significant value had been stolen. The luxury cars remained in the garage. TVs, devices, and even cash left on the counter were untouched. Thieves that get away into the night without cash that was left on the counter aren't very good thieves, he observed. Police had their own questions. The biggest, how could Jennifer make a 911 call with her hands tied behind her back, especially with a flip phone? They brought Jennifer into headquarters for a demonstration. "I want to see how you could physically get your phone out of your waistband," an investigator asked. "We obviously need to know that. It's very important we know you made the phone call." Jennifer initially appeared hesitant. She recreated the scene, her hands bound behind her back, tied to a simulated banister. She explained how her hands were tied together, then her arm wrapped around the banister. She demonstrated how she could reach her phone, turn the volume to maximum, and yell into it. It was possible she was telling the truth in that sense. The detective conceded. At this point, the police still had no concrete evidence to contradict her story. Yet, doubts lingered. A secret police detail began following Jennifer, even to her mother's funeral. "Certainly didn't see any tears," Grimaldi noted. "She didn't cry at her mother's funeral. It didn't appear genuine anyway." After such a horrific event, her reaction seemed strangely detached. Detectives returned to the 911 call, listening one more time. Then, a crucial detail emerged. "My dad just went outside screaming." This struck them. What parent, after witnessing their wife shot and having been shot themselves, would not check on their child, especially if they could hear her screaming? Han Pan was in an induced coma. Bitcha was dead. Only Jennifer's words stood as truth. But that was about to change. Han Pan emerged from his coma. It was a miracle. He had been shot in the face at close range. And he remembered everything. Every single detail of the night his wife was murdered, and he almost died. And his memories were not good news for his daughter. Han Pan described something entirely different from Jennifer's account. This wasn't the first time Jennifer Pan had been caught in a lie. According to crime reporter Jeremy Grimaldi, Jennifer was nothing like the innocent, straight-A, piano-playing daughter she pretended to be. She was living with her boyfriend and working. Grimaldi, who delved deep into the Pan family's history, claims Jennifer started lying as a young child. She blamed her behavior on tiger parenting, a common practice in some Asian cultures, often described as tough love bordering on tyranny. Han Pan was the quintessential tiger dad, pushing education above all else, even choosing Jennifer's career path. Instead of praise, Grimaldi says Han often told his daughter she wasn't good enough. Jennifer's response was to construct an elaborate web of lies. She manufactured report cards, forging straight A's and a high school diploma. Her parents believed she had graduated and was accepted into an elite pharmacy school, the career her father had chosen. She even bought textbooks, highlighters, and notebooks, fabricating stories about professors and exams. Her entire family believed a false history of her education and career. When it came time to graduate, she bought a fake diploma. Another forbidden aspect of tiger parenting was dating. When Jennifer met Daniel Wong, a part-time drug dealer, she concocted more lies to hide their relationship. He was something of a knight in shining armor. To her, Grimaldi observed, while supposedly at university, Jennifer was secretly living with Daniel. She lived a total double life. But Jennifer's meticulously constructed world of deception began to unravel. Her parents grew suspicious, eventually following her directly to Daniel Wong's home. She was caught in multiple lies, living with him, not attending university. Her parents put her on lockdown. She was no longer allowed to drive. Her cell phone was confiscated, and she could only leave the house for piano lessons. Her father even tracked the mileage on the car. Han Pan delivered an ultimatum: go back to school and quit seeing Daniel, or get out of the house. "Wait until I'm dead to see him," he declared. Police believed Jennifer didn't want to wait that long. She had strategized to move forward to get them out of her life. An investigator stated, text messages revealed Daniel put Jennifer in contact with a known hitman he'd met through his drug dealing. "I did everything and lined it up for you," he texted her. The plan was chillingly simple. Bought $10,000 for 3 men to stage a home invasion, kill her parents, and make it look like a robbery gone wrong. Jennifer's deadly scheme might have remained undiscovered, but for one crucial oversight, her father survived. Han Pan told police he saw his daughter unbound, speaking in a friendly manner to a white man, one of the assailants, downstairs. Jennifer Pan was now a suspect. With Han's stunning accusation, police brought Jennifer back for questioning. "It doesn't feel good to have secrets, does it?" an investigator probed. Jennifer, who had shifted from victim to possible perpetrator in the eyes of the law, eventually claimed she wanted to tell the truth. But her new story was even more bizarre. "You told these guys to come and kill you." The detective pressed. Jennifer, head down, whispered, "It was supposed to be me." She claimed she had arranged a hit, but on herself,